Hey, what's up, guys? Hope everyone is doing well. I wanted to do a quick update on the Tundra, but more specifically, I promised some folks an update on the Maxxis RAZR ATS. These are Maxxis's light duty all-terrain truck tire. Or I should say light duty all-terrain tire in general. I don't think they necessarily market it as a truck tire. I know I've seen some Subarus with them and some lighter duty unibody style SUVs with them. Is maybe what they're trying to go for. So I was actually worried that it would be too light duty for the Tundra, but I'm happy to say that I think they are just right for someone who's looking to not necessarily, need a really thick sidewall for rock crawling and things of that nature. But I use this for sort of light duty, fire road trails, just, slow speed going up and down the mountain to get to camping spots or mountain biking trails, things like that. So I wanted to share and give an update on these tires, having been on them now for roughly 3,000 to 4,000 miles. And I have some things to share as promised on the previous video, which, by the way, if you are wanting to learn more about these Maxxis RAZR ATSs, I did a previous video a month back, maybe a month or two back, about just kind of an unboxing, I guess, and comparing these with the previous tires that I've had, which was anything from the KO2 E-rated, kind of the big boy all-terrain tire, which was very heavy, by the way, and compared to like a Michelin Defender, your sort of run-of-the-mill lighter duty truck street tire. So you can go back to that and kind of see initial impressions on those. But just to give you some bullet point updates on these, having been on them now for some time, I am getting approximately 2 to 3 miles per gallon better on these than I was on the E-rated KO2s. And that's primarily, most likely, based on the weight. The E-rated tires were really heavy, and these ones are pretty lightweight, like having, these are 265 70 17 on a fairly lightweight set of aluminum cast wheels. And I have no problem lifting these into on and off the car. I'm not like super strong guy. I'm just an average guy. And these are actually really light compared to some of the other wheels and tires that I've had on this truck. So I'm sure that aids a lot. Also, tread pattern. Tread pattern is pretty street friendly. So that also adds to the 2 to 3 miles per gallon better. So this truck on the highway alone, I'll probably do 16 to 17 mpg. Mixed driving, some highway, some street, I'll do like 14 and a half, 15. And, off-roading, mostly city, I'll be somewhere in the 13 to 14 range, which I think is pretty reasonable. I was easily much worse than that with the KO2s before. I also appreciate the bigger tread blocks on these because when I'm aggressively driving this on the street, for example, hard braking, aggressive turns on on-ramps and things, because I don't like to baby my cars, I don't feel any tread squirming, which I felt a lot of under hard braking on the KO2s. When you would step on the brakes hard, you feel kind of that squirm in the tire, and that was not fun. And generally they're really quiet on the road. I know initially on the previous video, I initially heard some road noise, but after driving this truck for a while and kind of breaking in the tires, I want to say that they're actually really quiet. I hear more of the wind noise in and around the cabin than I do noise coming from the tires themselves. What I also was surprised about was, even though I have these at 1 or 2 psi lower than what the stock, let's see, 32 psi front, 33 rear is what the stock suggests. I have them at like 30 and 31. They don't really increase in tire temp at all. So even going 80 miles an hour for a considerable amount of time, again, I have this on factory alignment, but 80 miles an hour, they will maybe have a tire temperature increase of maybe 5 to 8 degrees above ambient temperature. So right now outside, it's pretty hot. It's like 95 degrees out here. And I was monitoring tire temps after having just coming back from a decently long trip up north. The tire temperatures were probably around like 105 max, which I thought, which kind of means that, to me at least, and someone who's a better engineer explained to me this phenomenon, but to me that means that I'm not really stressing out the sidewall, even though it's relatively soft compared to like an E rating, of course, but the tire itself isn't generating a lot of heat, which to me was good news, and I likely have these at the right PSI. So also, these balance pretty well. Like, I don't really see that. Now, when I was looking at these when they were getting installed, and they're really dirty because I have these EBC brake pads on them, and they're kind of dusty. They work great, but at the expense of it being kind of dirty. Where was I? So they do balance really well. I don't have a lot of weights on these tires, on wheels and tires. So even though these are pretty lightweight aluminum wheels, they balance out pretty well. Which also translates to not a lot of, actually no vibration through the tires, through the steering wheel, and they're just really, really comfortable. I was really surprised at how comfortable yet responsive and confidence inspiring these tires are. So yeah, in general, I think I'm starting to notice maybe a tiny bit of feathering in the wear, but not really a lot. It's actually fairly even if I look at it that way. But I will be rotating these every other oil change just to make sure that we get some even wear out of them. But I haven't experienced any increase in sort of uneven wear pattern and noise. So yeah. If you have any questions, let me know. Does anyone have any experience with these RAZR ATSs? I'd love to know. It's a pretty great street tire as far as I can tell right now, and I've been on some fire roads to get up to a couple mountain biking trails, and I mean, it's not really much to say because you can pretty much go on almost any tire on a fire road, but these were great, so I had no complaints. It's gonna be winter time here soon in the next few months, and I can't wait to take these up to the local ski resorts and see how it handles the snow. So if anyone has any questions or comments, leave them below and I'll be happy to answer them. All right, have a great day. Bye.